Hey guys, welcome back to Real Talk. This is Zach. I'm joined today by Hamadi
How's it going, boys?
and a very special guest today joining us for the very first time. Hopefully, the first of many, many times. My good friend, our good friend, Rehan.
Oh, finally. Good to be here.
Yeah, good to have you, man.
A little bit of blue and a lot of red.
Yeah, so I mean, the reason why it was not the only reason, but one of the major reasons why we have him here today is because we actually want to talk about Everton. They're one of the hot teams in terms of brand new coach, brand new style, coming off a big win against Chelsea. So I thought I'd bring him in, ask him how he feels about it, ask him, what's his thoughts on the new coach and the team and whatever. And he was gracious enough to come in. So thank you, Rehan.
That's all right.
Let's get straight into it, man. Everton, been a very topsy-turvy season.
To say the least.
To say the least, right? I mean, last season you finished 8th. And I was like, okay, we see some signs, maybe a couple of signings here and there, a bit of promise or whatever it was. But this season it's gone so wrong. So
terrible,
quickly.
Terrible.
Let me ask you, why did it go so wrong? Why from last season to now? What's changed? What happened?
So I think even in last season we were pretty terrible, except after once we drew with Liverpool in the second game. The things picked up a bit, and I think that's what saved Silva for last season. And now, obviously, as you see, the current season, things have been terrible. Look, so some things, he had no choice in. Quite a few players injured. A couple of signings, they got injured straight away. Not much you can do about that. But I guess just that, there's no change in tactics, even after losing so many games, drawing so many games, not creating many chances, still no change. The only time you saw like a big change was the Leicester game. He tried 5 at the back, just trying to hold back, don't let him counter. But, obviously the last second of the game, ended up losing that one. But, what can you do? Things haven't been great. Obviously, when you have a club with so much money right now, as they do, big investors, you can't be at the bottom half of the table.
Doesn't make sense. Yeah.
It's terrible.
For me, maybe Hamadi, you can talk about this as well. I felt like watching Everton this season was like watching Arsene Wenger's last few seasons. A lot of sideways football. Maybe not the excitement of the football that there was, but a lot of sideways football. Very slow pace.
Yeah.
And not much end product.
I think Everton they feel like they should be challenging top 4, right? They've pumped money in, and now they're not getting the results, right? So last season they were kind of tipped to do pretty well, right? And this season they've also made a few signings.
Maybe not
the best signings.
Yeah.
But with the likes of Richarlison and stuff.
They showed intent.
Yeah, they definitely showed intent, but I don't think they've signed the players they've wanted to, right?
Because we lost Idrissa Gana Gueye. We signed Gabamine, and he got injured in the third game in, or close to the start. And so we didn't really replace Guy in the end. It's pretty much a player lost. And the only gain that we had was probably...
Iwobi?
Iwobi was... but the thing is, he's topsy-turvy, inconsistent.
Arsenal fans have been preaching.
Man City's left back, what was his name? Slipping my tongue. Man City player.
Mendy.
No, plays for Everton now.
Tigny?
No, Man City player. Plays for Everton.
I'm not sure.
Now.
Let me have a look. Anyways, go on with your point.
Yeah, so look, he was a good signing, and then he got injured as well. So literally, there's been no change to this year's team besides the players we've lost. So we've actually gone down as a squad, even with the signings we made. Because the signings we made, they haven't been started. So Moyes keen, great future talent, but at the moment, not Premier League worthy at the moment. He's a bit lazy, not really professional, even like showing up late to training a few times. So hasn't been the greatest of the signing. So in terms of starting team, it's pretty much, I'd say, the same or maybe worse than last season, obviously because of the injuries. But in terms of tactics, exactly the same. Even when they stop working, nothing changes. There's actually a stat that Silva, once he goes a goal down in the Premier League, he's never won from that.
Wow.
So, obviously shows that he's not a tactician. He has a certain way of playing and he sticks to that way. When things go wrong, there's no plan B.
So why was it going? Why did he get to, why was it going right in the first place? What was so good at the beginning that just...
I think, it was, like you were saying, that it was a different type of football. Other teams weren't ready for that. In the way we started playing, we started controlling possession, playing it from the back. But after a while,
they figured you out.
Yeah, it gets predictable.
Yeah.
It gets predictable. Teams just wait for us to attack, and once we've attacked, they counter us.
That's why I'm saying the Arsenal thing.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Like, honestly,
like Arsenal,
probably the best
much.
comparison. Yeah. Just trying to be too perfect with the passing, trying to score that perfect goal, and you couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
And the thing was, Everton was known as this gritty club,
Yeah.
Like you go to Goodison Park and it's going to be a gritty type game, and then I guess he tried to beautify it a bit, but that's just not how the club is structured. Let me ask you, when did you feel like that? Look, this is it. He needs to go. Was it last season? This season? Was there a certain game?
Look, last season I thought let the summer transfer window go past, January transfer window. Let him make him signings and see how he goes. But you even look at the players. There's no passion. They lose and they just walk off. There's nothing like crap. We've lost the game again. What's going on? There's the manager has to instill this kind of passion. And
stop playing for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So honestly, a change was probably the best thing.
So you think at the end of last season, that was it? Look, he shouldn't have come back.
If we had a good run to the end of the last season, so he was pretty safe. But if we didn't have a good run, he already would have been gone before transfer window. Because obviously, if they're gonna spend big money, they want to have the right manager in place to get the right players and play how he wants to play. So they gave him that chance. And obviously things were, we in relegation before we beat Chelsea. We're in the bottom 3.
Yeah.
So it's pretty bad after 16 games.
For a club like Everton, definitely.
Exactly.
Was it Fabian Delph you were thinking of?
Delph, that's the one. Yeah. He was awesome. The games he's played, I think we won or drew all those games he's played. He was very instrumental because he's passion. He has passion. You see him on the field, shouting at players, shouting at people for not tracking back. No one else does that.
He's come from a winning environment, I think.
Yeah, that's the thing.
City,
I
so
think that's the main thing. The main reason they brought him in.
Yeah. Now for me, again, I'm not gonna pretend to say that I follow Everton every week in, week out. I'm a casual fan when it comes to Everton. I usually follow the big teams, and even though Everton is a big team, I guess they're not in that top bracket as of yet. But for me, when I saw the Merseyside derby result just recently, I don't know, it's very recent, and I know they got rid of him straight away, but it was alarming because usually for Merseyside derbies, regardless of the gap between Liverpool and Everton,
Is that right?
they always come to play.
Form goes out the window.
Exactly, because everyone's pumped, everyone's, there's tackles being made. You remember, I can remember the last minute Gerrard free kicks and this and that. Like, it's just, there's a lot of passion. When this time round, it felt like, whatever, man, just another game. Liverpool ran over the top of them.
So, the funny thing was there was actually football being played. In derbies, you don't see like teams building up. It's just, non-stop. All out.
Back and forth. Having said all that, going away from the past now, you've seen our new coach come in, Duncan Ferguson, right? Ex-Everton player.
Club legend, yeah.
Club legend. He's come in and sort of instilled that passion. Like you can see him celebrating on the side. Instantly results. You guys beat Chelsea 3-1.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's your initial thoughts on Duncan?
Look, you obviously see the passion. You see how pumped he was after the win. You see him go to the crowd, pump up the crowd. Look, and he changed things up. So he put 4-4-2 formation, and he said the main reason why he did that was he wanted to pressure defenses. He felt that even with teams that weren't strong at building up, we'll let him just let him build up. But now with the 4 at the front or the 4-4-2, 2 strikers and attacking the centre backs, it was harder for Chelsea to build up. And now Everton's strength always been the long ball in the middle, win the header, get to second man and score. And that's what we were doing, like the old Everton. And that was awesome to see. It was actually, I don't know how you Arsenal supporters feel once you let the manager go and Ljungberg comes in, and it's exciting. You want to see where are things going from now.
Yeah.
And it was exciting. I was excited.
It's rejuvenating. Hamari, let me ask you, bro. Is this just the new managers? It happens to every club. New manager comes in, you get pumped, guys play well, but you have to give manager time, give it like 6-7 games, even 10 games to see the proper thing. Is this just momentary excitement from Everton's part, or is it really actually a change?
I think it's just momentary at the moment. I think we expected this from Arsenal.
Yeah,
but we didn't get it. We
Yeah.
expected that bounce back game. Emery's gone. Everyone's going to be pumped. Ozil's going to be ready to go. Pepe's going to be ready to go. All these players that kind of have struggled under Emery, they're going to come out firing, and it didn't happen. But with Everton, I think it's a momentary in terms. If you look at their squad, top to bottom, I mean, it's not that great. Realistically, they're probably sitting in a place where they should be.
You wouldn't say they're a top 8 squad?
I mean, the top 8, they're fighting for the top 8. That's right now. That's what their squad is. They're not better than Leicester, not better than Tottenham.
No.
Squad-wise, they're not better than Arsenal. I mean, Arsenal's probably only better because they got a world-class player like Aubameyang carrying,
Yeah.
But
It's
realistically,
too early to
they're where
judge.
they are, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't take this team any further without new signings.
Probably
So,
it's not as bad as we are now, but maybe 7th, 8th, 9th,
Yeah,
10th.
like 7th. If Everton finished 7th this season, you'd be like, fair enough.
Yeah,
Did
makes
they
sense.
underachieve? They overachieved? No,
Yeah.
same.
But
Probably
you're
where they
saying
deserve to be.
It's too early to judge Duncan right now.
Yeah,
Because there's always going to be
you
a
need to judge
reaction.
the guy. Let him see how he plays out the season.
Yeah.
Goes well. Let's see if he let's see what signings Everton make. Bring in some good players and tell him, hey, this is a team worth challenging the top 6, top 4.
Make goals.
That's when you judge him.
Yeah.
You can't judge him with a team like this because realistically, they're where they belong.
Yeah, but I don't think they will be keeping him on long term.
You don't think so?
It'll be interim.
Just before we move on, I just saw. I wanted to say, I watched the Chelsea Everton game. I felt like defensively, right? I've never seen players pretty much giving their all like that in defense. They're diving on, diving for the in front of the shots, getting in front of these second chance balls or whatever. Chelsea were just, I feel like, out fought on the day,
Yeah.
And even the goals, although I think there was one deflection goal or whatever it was, the goals weren't. Wasn't like they ripped Chelsea apart.
That's
It wasn't
right,
about that. It's just defensively they just out fought them. There was a lot more grit. It was like the old Everton coming back. Now you alluded to it, right? You don't think long term he'll be the coach?
No, look, I don't think long term. Even if he said it himself, he's happy to look after the club. But if someone comes in that they want, and he'll just back off and be what he's doing before. Look, he's passionate. He's an Everton club legend, but I don't think. Look, he doesn't have managerial experience.
His CV is not that
Yeah.
thing.
So long term, look, he'll maybe get a couple of wins. But the thing is, you look at the next few fixtures; they're pretty tough. So any manager who comes in at the right now, you got to feel sorry for them because we've got Arsenal, we've got Leicester, next game is against United, then Leicester, then Arsenal, then Burnley and Newcastle, then Man City, and then Liverpool again in the FA Cup.
Wow.
So the next 6 games,
Tough.
very tough.
You'd almost want Ferguson just to take him.
Yeah.
So that way, a new manager doesn't come and have to deal with
The
these
pressure,
games, the pressure and stuff.
Exactly right.
It's kind of unfair for him because now if these are 4 tough fixtures, right? There's a possibility Everton lose all 4. Is that really fair to place the new manager in that kind of situation?
Are you saying Ferguson? Or is he got a new manager coming in a full time?
No, I mean Ferguson, right?
Ferguson. I think they're not really expecting much from him. It's more.
I know
just
they're not
take
expecting
over.
much, right? But let's say they lost all 4, then that pressure just becomes enormous, right?
When they've lost off forward Silva as well. I mean, I think that's
why if they had kept Silva for these 4 games, and then they did pretty poorly in these 4 games, sacking him would have then been more fair on the new manager coming in. Does that make sense?
It does, but I think if you're looking at the risk reward type thing, right? It's like, all right, Silva's going to lose his next 4 anyway.
Yeah.
Let's bring in a new guy. Maybe, just maybe, we get 2 out of the 4. Maybe we get 1 out of the 4, whatever it is, right? And either way, we let him know it's okay. We're not expecting much. Just look after the club to the end of the season. We'll get someone else in. So I think that's where they said, all right.
Yeah. And I think they are chasing quite a lot of managers.
Yeah.
Like there's been a lot of rumors with a lot of different managers. So definitely they are looking for someone to replace Duncan Ferguson.
So let me chuck a name at you, and I want to see what you think, yeah? What do you think about David Moyes coming back?
You know what? I wouldn't mind it. But then are we going backwards? That's the concern. Look, out of all the names that I've heard, Moyes out of them, I'd rather, because he has Premier League experience and he knows the Everton way.
Let me check another name. Eddie Howe.
Nah.
No?
Nah.
He's done a great job at Bournemouth.
Has he?
Yeah.
Where are they on the table?
Yes, currently. But that's eventually when you don't invest in your squad properly, like Bournemouth haven't invested properly, right? It's going to happen. But with a good team, I mean, there's longevity there. He's experienced in Premier League. You can see he's got that edge to him when it comes to being a coach.
The thing is, the last two managers we've had, Martinez, killing it at Wigan. Also, we sign him. A couple of years later, downhill. Same as Silva, killed with doing well with Watford. Sign him, good year, and then maybe he's not there to take him to the top. So if we're doing the same thing, taking a risk with Eddie Howe, is he a big team coach? Can he bring us to the top 6? I don't know. But I would want him because he would bring some good strikers with him if he does come. Wilson will be awesome.
Stuff, yeah. What about another name thrown into the bunch? Vitor Pereira.
I don't know who he is.
He's a coach of the Shanghai team in China, the Chinese league.
Yeah.
People have called him the bearded Marco Silva. That's not good. That's not good, obviously. I think the next manager says a lot about the direction the club want to head into.
I'll throw a name in there as well. Or just I don't know. I would actually want, not even kidding, Arteta.
No way.
To be manager.
Yeah.
Well, look, he's underneath Guardiola's guidance.
Yeah.
Man City, top team. He's learning from a top manager. For me, he's the Everton legend. He was awesome. I watched him in his prime, and he would actually love coaching Everton. He'll love that. People would love him back. It'll be awesome. But
what about Arsene Wenger?
Nah.
Why not?
Amari, Arteta, Arsenal legend or Everton legend?
Mate, Arteta was trash for Arsenal. We had 5 good games.
Come on, man. In that
How are you
period,
going to call him an Arsenal legend when he had one good season?
But listen to me. In that period, that transition period, we had trash squads here.
Yeah.
But he did a job, man.
He did a job, but again, he was placed in a position where it's not natural. He was
an attacking mid. He wasn't a centre mid. He was made into a centre mid.
He was a player that plays beside a centre mid, right? He's that creative, centre mid. But he's not a guy that's going to break up play, put in a crunching tackle. He's never been that player, and he never was that player for Arsenal. And that was the role he played, and that's on Arsene Wenger for playing him in the wrong position.
Fair enough.
And
to be honest, my opinion is that his reputation got ruined when he went to Arsenal. Because playing out of position as a holding midfielder, I don't know what Arsene Wenger was thinking.
He was a different player. One more name, yeah? Unai Emery. That's true. Apparently he's
I
been
can't
approached.
believe that's actually true.
Yeah. What do you think? Would you have him?
What do you think?
Oh, man. Do whatever you can to stay away. Trust me.
I have one word for him. Coward. That's it. I don't want a coward manager.
That's what it is. He'll come in. We up to it won't be this. Like he got rid of Iwobi. He probably get rid of him again. He's not the answer.
Apparently, what he said was when they came up to him, he goes, "Oh, he needs to improve his English before taking a job in the Premier League." So maybe he got.
Look, I will say one thing about him, but this is not a knock on him, man. He's had class. He had a class. He was a classy guy. Yeah. Even when he left, not a bad word, nothing like that. Left with his head up, thank you, this, that, whatever. So, other than that, but, bro, that guy, stay away. Because if he comes close to your club, it's GG, no re. Honestly.
Relegation.
Not relegation, but just, you're going to hate your life for the next year and a half, until he finally leaves again. But overall, positive signs now. You're happy?
Definitely. Like exciting times.
Exciting times now, going forward. January is coming up. Hopefully some new signings as well for you guys.
I think there will be some big signings.
Where do you think you'll finish up at the end of the season?
I reckon about 9th or 8th.
9th or 8th.
To recover from where we are. Look, there's not a big gap between the 9th and 17th, 16th. There's actually not many points between them. So but I reckon, obviously, top 6 is always going to be the top 6. Arsenal will be back in there most likely. Then you have Wolves, I don't think Wolves maybe be the 7th team, and then you have
Tottenham, Leicester,
Tottenham,
Chelsea, these
Leicester,
guys,
City, United.
Also, yeah.
Yeah, so
But you're saying 8th is a good finish?
8th will be what most likely.
Well, for your sake, I hope you guys get 8th, man.
Yeah.